So you mentioned a couple of times there, Brian, you made some mistakes. I could almost guarantee one of those mistakes was around pricing. What should we consider when creating pricing for online programs and coaching?
I made the same mistake, Justin, that I think 80 to 90% of coaches make. And that's that I priced my service like a commodity, like you would charge for milk and butter. And this is what most personal trainers do. They either pick a number out of the sky, or more likely, they copy what other trainers in the region are doing. And that's a massive mistake to make. And although in the beginning, you have to start somewhere, pricing is very fluid because you're looking to see what's the ceiling, and it also depends on the market you're serving. So I do what I call a supply and demand model. It's a basic economics term where based on your supply and based on the demand, the price goes up. So for example, when I was a one-to-one personal trainer in a gym, and I do the same thing online now, when I was a one-to-one personal trainer in the gym, I could take comfortably about 30 sessions a week. And that was normally 5 sessions over 6 days or 6 sessions over 5 days normally. And that wasn't including contact time, program creation, etc. But in-person sessions, I could do about 30 a week. More than that, I felt my energy levels dipping, and less than that, I felt like I could do more. So my sweet spot was 30 sessions a week. So my pricing was based on my demand and based on the supply. As soon as I went to 31, 32, 33 sessions where people wanted to sign up and I was already full, the price went up. And that's how you work off pricing. It's what happens here is pricing is something that can change regularly until you hit the ceiling. So based on your market, if you have a price sensitive market, you work with the average person 22, 23, 24 years of age, for example, they're going to be lower income compared to someone in their 50s potentially who has a higher earnings worth, or their kids are potentially, they've left their college age and there's more disposable income. So your price ceiling based on your market is going to be completely different. So it's not to say jump straight in and work with the 50-year-olds or 55-year-olds with disposable income. If that's what you want to do, great, do that. But everyone you work with, there's going to be a point where you have to push that price up because it's going to exceed demand. And that's how you get to your price ceiling. So most trainers do this randomly. They randomly throw darts against a dartboard, it feels like. And they're like, okay, that's my price. $30 a session. €40 a session, £50 a session. When in reality, yes, you can to pick a number to start with. And I would normally base that on your market, but also base it on your kind of local area. Online, you have way more flexibility with this because this depends on your market and the pain point you're solving. The analogy is a general practitioner doctor charges less than a surgeon, because a surgeon is specific, they're niched, they've got a specific set of skills that they serve, so they're going to earn more money. You're the same as a coach and a trainer online. If you work with general weight loss, you're going to have a harder time pushing up your price than if you are someone who specializes in, IBS weight loss or Crohn's disease weight loss or menopausal weight loss, because it's more targeted, it's more niche, it's more specific. So that comes into play. Offline, it's slightly different because you're limited by geography. If you're in, New York or Sydney or London or Dublin, you're going to be able to charge more than somebody who's in a rural area because people have more disposable income, higher net worths, etc. So all of this comes into play, but sometimes people just do pricing randomly, like throwing those darts at the dartboard when there's so much context that's needed. But underpinning all that is the supply and demand model, so that you're able to serve people charging what you're worth so that you can give them the best service. And then like normally attracts like. If you've got people who are in this space, age demographic, their friends are normally similar. And if you have a good business, you're going to get referrals and testimonials with similar pain points, similar occupations, potentially, definitely similar net worths. And then that's going to determine your price. So instead of doing it randomly, have a plan around it.